Final votes coming on the stimulus package today? Well, we'll see about that. Let's get into it and discuss what is supposed to be happening today. Welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I'm back each and every day in videos just like this one to bring you all of the latest updates and to help you out in any way that I can, as I know it's incredibly confusing and things are changing literally every single day. So I'm here to help you out in any way I can, as well as keep you updated and ultimately make sure that you get all of the money and benefits that you are eligible to receive during this time as a result of all of these packages that continue to be passed and introduced, right? So thanks again for your support. I truly appreciate it. Let's get into it and discuss the final votes that are supposed to be happening today, or are they? Well, let's talk about this. So today is the day that Nancy Pelosi has actually negotiated with moderate Democrats about a month and a half ago or so, that she would bring to the floor the final vote on the infrastructure package, which the Senate actually voted and passed about a month ago. So now this package is in the House right now, and Nancy Pelosi, in order to get the support from the moderate Democrats to actually pass the budget resolution about a month ago, which opened up the privileges on the reconciliation bill, she said, well, let's make a deal and I will bring to the floor for a final vote the infrastructure package on September 27th. Well, we'll see about that, because today is that day, and according to everything that we are seeing, it looks like they're probably going to have a delay on this one. So, once again, just like the reconciliation bill, that is supposed to also get a final vote simultaneously with the infrastructure package. According to the deal that Nancy has made with, moderates and the progressives, basically they're coming out saying that they want to pass both of these packages simultaneously. We've talked about this before, but essentially envision two different trains on basically railroad tracks, and they're running simultaneously to one another. That's essentially what Chuck Schumer has been saying this whole time about these two packages. They're like two trains running on separate tracks simultaneously, parallel to each other. Well, it's turning out to not really be that way. However, Nancy Pelosi could, if she just so wanted to do so, she could bring the infrastructure package to the floor for a final vote today, get it passed, and then she could tuck it away for a while and say, yeah, I'm not actually going to send it to the president for his final signature, turning it into law, until we actually get the passing of the reconciliation bill. The problem with that is the progressives in the House have already told Nancy Pelosi that if you bring it to the floor without already passing the reconciliation bill through both chambers first, we're going to tank the bill. So it's kind of a balancing act right now, and a juggling act more like, that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are dealing with during this time. And I wouldn't want to be in their positions, because really, they're trying to satisfy the progressives and the moderates simultaneously, which is kind of a tough thing to do, almost impossible, because they are on opposite sides of the spectrum, even though they are both within the same party, the Democratic Party, right? So we do know that the reconciliation bill is completely being operated by the Democrats, right? So we only need Democratic support. But either way, it already looks like we're probably going to be getting a delay on the reconciliation bill until the end of the week at the absolute earliest. That's just based on what we saw last week with the information coming out. Earlier last week, I brought a video to you and said, hey, we have 48 hours, according to what Nancy Pelosi was saying early last week. She was basically coming out saying, well, Nancy Pelosi and other top Democrat leaders in Congress were basically coming out early last week and saying we have 48 hours to get everything together on the reconciliation bill in order to set up floor action by this week. Well, guess what? It didn't happen, right? Within the 48 hours that they had, they didn't get everything done that they needed in order to get everything set up for floor action on the reconciliation bill, like early this week, right? So we already know that they're delayed. Well, it's only a matter of time until they pretty much delay things even more. So either way, today is the day that we were supposed to be getting that final vote. Now again, things could change. Of course, we always see things change like this. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, where we think that there's going to be a massive delay, and all of a sudden they say, hey, just kidding, we're voting at 9 p.m. tonight, or whatever they decide, right? So we've seen this happen before, where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of left field, they come out and basically saying, yep, tonight we're going to vote, and it's going down 9:30 p.m. or 9 o'clock p.m., whatever. They decide some really late, ridiculous voting, and then they come together and actually get it done. So it's a really interesting time that we're in right now, because we all know that when we get down to the final days and the final hours of these votings, typically it gets really kind of intense and furious, because we get all these people that are kind of trying to jam everything together at the last minute. And because they didn't have adequate time, they're trying to get everything together, jam it all together, and then finally come together on a vote last minute. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that happen once again. But we'll have to see how this whole thing shakes out, because, like I said, we have progressives who are basically saying it's not happening unless we get all of it together at the same time. We're getting moderates who are saying it's too much, we're not ready, we're not comfortable, all this. And they haven't even really wrapped up all the parameters and everything on these packages, right? Except for the infrastructure package. They do know the details on that one. So, yeah, right? Kind of a mess, right? So I wouldn't want to be that person over there in Congress in any respect right now, because it's honestly a mess. It's just straight up a mess, right? There's really no other way to say it than just, it's kind of just total mess. They got to get things together here, and they just kind of ran out of time. So we'll see how they decide to tiptoe around this thing. But either way, it might be kind of interesting to watch this whole thing play out. And of course, we are keeping our eyes on stimulus check number 4, and ultimately those permanent raises to benefits like Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and any other stimulus provisions out there right now to help out millions upon millions of beneficiaries who rely on these very important monthly benefits, right? We've seen proposals out there that they want to add these into these packages. So, yeah, a lot cooking this week. As you can tell, once again, another very busy week, as they typically are. Usually we start out the weeks thinking, it's just going to be, a mediocre week. There'll be a little couple things here and there, but no. Every week it turns out to be kind of the same. It starts out with not a whole lot going on, or maybe a few little announcements, and then all of a sudden, as we get rolling through the week, usually we get some pretty big announcements. So either way, I'll be here for you. I'll lay it all out, but I wanted to come back and let you know, because this is a key date that we've been watching for a while now, and that they were supposed to be bringing some major voting today, and we may not be getting that, right? So no surprise. As I've been saying for weeks now, please, nobody hold your breath, because we kind of anticipated for a while that there would be delays, just because based on the history of Congress, we know that they're very slow, and they are pretty much notorious for delaying almost everything that they do, right? So again, no shock. We're not surprised one bit, right? So either way, I wanted to come back to you. I wanted to follow up and be like, hey, this is the day that we've talked about. This is the day that we've singled out many times before and talked about this date as being a key voting date, but maybe not really, right? So anyway, hope this helps you out. Again, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I'm here to bring you all the latest updates, to help you out, to lay it all out, to bring you the updates and let you know what's going on in these packages, as well as just to be your daily advocate. So thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below, share the videos with your friends, family, social media, and of course, go back and check out some other very important videos right here on the channel. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video with all of the latest updates that happened between now and the next video, right?